While one of life's joys is to eat well, we may be guilty of not sparing another thought of what happens to those unavoidable leftovers. Just think about all the feasts during the holidays and the food waste that got dumped in the garbage. It's a fact that wasting food is hurting the environment. Apart from intentionally wasting resources, as food rots in the landfills, it emits large amounts of harmful gases into our atmosphere. However, there's not much more that can be done with it. That's why a local group believes that no food waste should pollute the earth when they can be used to take care of it.
It's basically a food waste composting company. So we're setting up green spaces, which means spaces where we can do our composting. And since we're already making soil, it's also a garden. So we're trying to support diversion of food waste away from the landfills and creation of green spaces or urban gardens where we can support local food production and livelihood. The story starts from Earth Venture, which is a business I started in 2013. We use the bokashi technology to make mud balls and help in the rehabilitation of our rivers. And from that activity, we have to step back and look what is really the problem. It's all this waste going into our esteros. First, teach people how to handle their waste. From there, we wanted to have local places, venues where people can actually do their composting. But of course, it all starts from our home. But if we don't have a space, then we're looking at creating spaces in the community.
Green Space promotes the bokashi method, a simple yet effective way to deal with our food waste. Instead of sending them to the landfills, leftovers are fermented in a bucket with bokashi bran. It's a closed container system which results in no foul smell at all. After a few weeks, you get a nutrient-rich compost good for the plants. Now, if you're not into gardening, you may ask, what can you do with all this fermented matter?
People are already into the zero waste lifestyle, and many are already aware about segregation, but becomes frustrated when they realize that even after segregation, it all just goes to the same place. So our goal is, we want to be able to make nutrient-rich soil out of our food waste instead of polluting the environment. We're initially just thinking, divert food waste away from the landfill, but with the compost that we make, we're impacting a lot of other environmental issues, lesser greenhouse gas emissions, and imagine the health hazards of all the dump sites. And in fact, many of our dump sites are closing. So it's really been a big concern for most of our corporate clients. We're already seeing a need of this new destination. That's why we're trying to make it available so people would keep on segregating and keep on being mindful of where they send their food waste.
Teaching people to compost using the bokashi method, conducting workshops, and providing a composting subscription service both for private and commercial clients are just some of the things on Rina's plate. But they have an even bigger goal in mind, to be able to set up green spaces within the metro. And by green spaces, they mean a plot of idle or barren land utilized for composting and urban farming. Luntiang Bakuran, located in Barangay Lugundi in Plaridel, Bulacan, is their very first green space.
It all started when I met Romel Benning of Green Ants. We share the same vision of diverting waste away from the landfill, and we got introduced to this group in Plaridel, Bulacan, the Rotary Club of Plaridel, and they have a space available. What if we do set up a composting space here? And the Rotary Club was ready to adopt the concept, eager to be part of this kind of solution for waste. All the food waste that we are collecting from our current clients, this is where we bring them. So we tell our clients, we do have a destination for your food waste, and it's here in this Luntiang Bakuran.
The Rotary Club of Plaridel took on the challenge, coordinating with the community and the local government to ensure that the project will be carried through.
We introduced this project to minimize or lessen the dumping of waste materials to dump site, to minimize the cost of transporting of garbage waste. If we are going to process here in our Luntiang Bakuran, double purpose, the barangay, the farmers, so we can grow organic vegetables, as we see here. Secondly, direct planting from our raised bed.
First, we met the president of the Rotary. All segregation of the waste is being processed in the barangay. The municipality is giving one time a week, one truck to dispose our waste in the Tarlac. But now, the mayor of Plaridel say that you are the one to segregate all the waste in your barangay. Almost 15 million being produced the municipality for the waste. We all the 19 barangay to lessen the waste and to be recycled.
Rina estimates that since they started this project in early 2019, about 8 tons of food waste have been enriching the soil in the raised beds, with the surplus being given to other beneficiaries for farming purposes. At present, the barangay collects food waste from households and transforms them into organic fertilizers. They have started planting and are slowly seeing the yield that their efforts have brought.
This property is almost 2,600 square meters. Before, it was really an idle land. Because of this project of Rotary Club, it was completely transformed to a nice place. In the future, it will be wonderful. An idle land transforming to a very useful land for organic plants, organic vegetables. All what we can harvest here, we can give to the poor families. So many goods to be done here in our Luntiang Bakuran.
Just a few kilometers from Luntiang Bakuran is this thriving vegetable garden, fertilized by the food waste of the community. Harvests such as tomatoes and eggplants are then used for feeding programs and given to those in need. From waste to resource, Green Space has shown us that by simply adding one extra conscious effort to our routine, we are already reducing methane emissions from landfills and lowering our carbon footprint. Luntiang Bakuran also serves as a proof of concept that when the government, public and private sectors come together for a meaningful goal, the synergy will result in something good. As anthropologist Margaret Mead once said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the